Good morning everybody, it's Brett here, Lionheart84. This is my end of August monthly garden walk round diary and report, just to see what's happened in the last month for anybody that's interested, see what stage everything's got at. So we'll start on this side. Camellia's doing very well, looks like we'll get plenty of flowers next year. The Agapanthus just about finished now, absolutely loaded with seed pods. I could cut them off to give the plant more strength, but I think, to be honest, I might as well leave them on, and maybe some people would like the seeds. I can send them to any friends who want to try them. Might sow a few myself and see what happens next year. Just a few bits of flower left, but virtually they're finished. This is my figure. I think this is Rue de Bordeaux, this one. Sent out a couple of really long suckers from the base, so I'm thinking that I might try air laying, as I've never done that before, so that possibly next year I've got another plant to send off. It's doing very well. Has got a couple of late figs on it, but from experience, never get main crop figs here because the temperature's going to drop considerably in September and they just end up drying out on the plant and not reaching maturity. But I guess if we had a really hot September, there's a chance. My variegated geranium looking very healthy. That's my elephant's ears or alocasia. Should have repotted this summer, haven't got round to it, and that's why it's not looking very healthy, and the leaves aren't very big, quite yellow. But in actual fact, it's got interestingly, if I can get in here, it's actually got flowers on this one. Not the most inspiring looking flower in the world, but still interesting to see them flower. This is the original shoot. All of the others are offshoots off it. I said if I could split it up, I could probably sell them or give them away, but I haven't got time at the moment. Tomatoes are very late this year. This is a plum one. This is called Lucinda. Still got plenty of fruits on it, and I have been picking them, but really they've been so late this year. I mean, last year I was getting fruits in sort of at late July, mid-July to early August. This year I didn't really start getting ripe tomatoes until well into August. The cherry tomatoes are absolutely loaded now. This one's actually Alicante, so not really a cherry one, it's kind of a medium-sized one, but as you can see, trusses are absolutely loaded, got lots of fruits to come. This heritage one behind, which is Cornu des Andes, very unusual looking tomato. I haven't tasted one yet, so I'm not sure what they're going to taste like, but again, it's still loaded with them. There's a purple passion fruit I decided to plant in the garden. It's doing quite well, surprisingly, considering it's in a shady spot, but obviously isn't going to survive the winter unless I can find some way to cover it that would protect it. But I had a spare one, so I thought I'd plant it outside. Moving behind here, another cherry tomato. I can't remember what variety it is. I will have a look at the label for anyone that's interested. That's Gardener's Delight. These are really sweet, got a lovely flavour to them. No complaints with the crops on those. Now, these might be late, but these are doing absolutely fantastically now. This variety is Gigantum, and it certainly is absolutely loaded with very large beefsteak tomatoes. Don't know if I can pull the leaves out of the way to show them. Look at the size of these in here. Fantastic. Probably give you a better idea if I put my hand underneath it, how large that one is. And the one behind it. Some of those are ready to pick now, but again, they're running a month behind the ones that I had last year. These are my peppers, covered in blooms and flowers, but very little in the way of peppers. There are some appearing there at last, but these have been really late this year. And probably as the weather gets cold, I don't think they'll get any bigger. My 2 chocolate vines, Akebias, growing fantastically well. They'll have flowers on them next spring. Might even get some fruits, as I've got 2 varieties. And that's not even, that's a north facing fence really, but they've done very well because they do get sun drop on them during the day. Fig varieties are all doing very well, lots of small embryo fruit on, not going to reach maturity this year unfortunately. My pomegranate, that one's Molar Delche. The most fruits, funny enough, are on this tiny little one here, which is Verdone. But again, from experience, main crop figs never make it to ripeness here because we just don't get enough warm weather in September to ripen them off. Various assorted persimmons, not going to go through the varieties as I have listed them before. All shown plenty of growth this year, mostly healthy. The only one that's been very disappointing is the Nikita's Gift. Leaves seem to have been quite discoloured. Hasn't grown much this year, but I'm hoping next year, with the roots being established, it'll take off. Various pawpaws are doing well. That's my largest one, that's Prima. That's the same variety that I gave to my parents. Got plenty of buds already in the leaf axils, so I think we'll have plenty of flowers on that next year. This particular persimmon has really taken off. This one is, I'll have to check because I can't remember. That's Mount Govala. That's a hybrid one, but that's put on plenty of growth, at least 18 inches on the new shoots, so I'm very pleased with how that's done. This one's one of my Hanafuyus, one at the back, that's Garrett's, and that's done very well. Next to it is a Giro. Actually has a couple of embryo fruits on it, but obviously they're not going to make it to, don't know if I can show it or not, obviously not going to get to edible size here, but still nice to see them. This is Proc, again not grown an awful lot. Behind it is a Costata, and that little one there is my Tsukis, which didn't do anything until end of July, came out very late, and in actual fact decided to flower in August, which is probably quite unusual for a persimmon. I've still got my one Asian pear hanging on, looking very healthy at the moment, so I'll be keeping a close eye on that to make sure it's not attacked by birds or anything. But I'm very excited to taste that. I just hope it's not going to get spoilt. The jujubes have grown like crazy in the containers this year. I had plenty of flowers on them, in fact they've still got flowers on them now. But no fruit set because the plants are too young to support fruit, so they dropped the fruit. The little embryo fruit simply turned yellow and dropped off, but I'm not worried about that because I'm hoping next year that once they're a bit more established with the roots we will get some fruits. Another fig as well. This one's got the largest fruits on. Can't remember the variety, let me have a look at the label. Okay, this is Goutte d'Or. Now there's an outside chance while I walk round. I guess there's an outside chance that these fruits, if we had a very warm September, might get to maturity. I'm not going to hold my breath, just keep my fingers crossed. 2 mulberries have grown crazy. That's my Illinois Everbearing. I'll prune those main stems back by about half in winter. I don't want it to get any taller than it is because the fruits wouldn't be harvestable, so I'll keep it the size it is. And the one behind is the Moldovan Pink. That's obviously a different sort of genus of mulberry because you can see the leaves are completely different to the Illinois. But that's looking very good. But I'll prune the mulberries back heavily. Okay, still got some courgettes down here. It's right, I can hear my mobile ringing in the background, but I'll go and answer that in a minute. I'm not going to bother about it just now. Just carry on with the tour so I don't get interrupted. These are my sweet potatoes. Just see a little flower behind there. I think they're members of the Ipomea family. Got a lot of caterpillars on these, but it's only small caterpillars, so it seems to be doing very well, the sweet potatoes. Strawberry runners are doing okay as well. Moving on to the other side of the garden, my large pawpaw. As you can see, it's got some leaf scorch on it because this is in full sun. It's quite a young plant, and they do like to be shaded when they're young, but nevertheless not really a problem. It's just a little bit of yellow leaf on it. Okay, so sorry, where were we? Yep, got interrupted by the phone there. So I'm looking here at my Feijoa. I think this variety is, let me have a look and see, this is Triumph. Got 2 fruits on it, nice oval shape, got to a reasonable size. As it's the end of August, I'm hoping there is a chance these will reach an edible size. Plant itself is looking very healthy. My buddleia or butterfly bush is still flowering, still getting some butterflies and bees on it. My caesalpinia, I was hoping it was going to flower this year, but we haven't had any, but it's growing fantastically. There's another pawpaw behind that, sunflower. Don't be fooled by the yellow leaves, it's not sun scorch, it's just this one loses its leaves a bit earlier than some of the others. There's my, behind there I've got a cardiocrenum. That's a giant lily, should flower next year. My bottle brush is doing nicely. Pomegranate is doing very well, all grown like crazy. Again, the Atropanthus here are finished flowering. Tucked away behind there I've got another persimmon. This is an unnamed variety. It's doing very well. Plenty of fruits on this unnamed variety of pineapple guava or Feijoa. Don't seem to be particularly fast growing, the fruits on this one. They only seem to get up to about an inch, but there's quite a few of them on here and it's still growing well, so I'm hoping that we'll get a few fruits this year, sort of come October. Obviously we'll have to wait and see what happens, but I said it's unusual because this one's completely round, whereas the other 2 varieties I've got seem to produce an oval one. Passion flowers, my amethyst is, as you can see, still smothered in flowers, and the bees are really enjoying it. They seem to love these, they love these passion flowers, the bees. Getting the autumn colour now on the blueberries. That's fabulous. They put a fabulous colour show on this time of year on the leaves. This pineapple guava is Mammoth. 1 fruit on it. Doubt very much it'll get to an edible size, but it had 1 flower and 1 fruit set, so that's quite satisfying. That's my kiwi, or my Chinese gooseberry. That's Arguta Issai. That's grown fabulously this summer. Again, looking for, hopefully going to get flowers on that next year and fruit. My 3rd blueberry, doing very well. Try and find my way past the Agapanthus. That's my Chilean guava that's in the ground. Doing very well. Got quite a few fruits on it. I think they'll probably ripen late September. That's a Daphne in full flower, wonderful scent. My lemon I've got planted in the garden, despite efforts to get the leaves to green, it stayed a sort of yellowy colour. So and I've tried Epsom salts and various citrus feeds, and it just doesn't seem to want to green up. So I'm not sure if that's going to survive another winter. We'll wait and see. And finally, my ornamental Abutilon, looking great. Still got lots of flowers on it. And my 2nd camellia. So that's just a quick garden tour, just to see what's still growing, what's still flowering, what's stopped. Another quick look at these pineapple guavas or Feijoas. As I said, this is an unnamed variety, just bought on eBay. No idea what it is, but everything's looking healthy. Sadly, in September everything's going to lose its leaves, and then I'm going to have a load of bare twigs. But at the moment, still pleased with how everything's doing, and in particular my tomatoes. I look forward to picking a couple of those later today and perhaps having them grilled. All my flowering plants are coming to the end of their flowering season now, looking very rough. Cucumbers have been a disaster this year. There is one on there, but I've only had 2 or 3. They seem to have, as you can see, suffered from mildew or a virus of some sort which has stopped them fruiting, but I've had quite a few courgettes, so quite pleased with how they've done. Anyway, thanks for watching everybody. It's Brett out now, Lionheart 84. Again, welcome to, if you want, you can like the video. Welcome to subscribe. You can share it with other people if you want to, if you think they'll be interested, and hit the bell if you'd like future notifications. Thanks for watching. Brett out.